Again, we're working on the 2002 Ford Explorer four-wheel drive. This particular vehicle with 250,000 miles had some suspension issues. Nothing crazy, just a lot of wear and tear. So what we did in our last video, we showed you how to do an inner and outer tie rod in. Today what we're going to do is show you how to do an upper ball joint. You can get just the joint itself, but I do not recommend trying to replace them that way. One, it's an absolute nightmare, and number two, the parts are cheap enough that you can replace the entire upper arm. I bought a full front end kit for this vehicle with inner and outer tie rods, upper and lower ball joints, and the upper arm, which is the best way to replace it, along with the sway bar links, which I've already replaced on this vehicle at one point, and I think the entire kit was about $125, so it's just not worth it for the nightmare that it causes to have to change that. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, raise your vehicle up, support it safely. First thing you're going to do is break this bolt right here loose. In my case, it was an 18 millimeter. Some of them may be different sizes. I have ran into that before where vehicles of the same make and model have different sizes. You'll notice that these bolts look wet. Again, just a little bit of PB Blaster on them beforehand. Any kind of a penetrating oil, it will help loosen up the rust. Again, with 250,000 miles, things tend to get stuck a little bit. Alright, just like before, we're going to get in there with a pickle fork. And you'll see that one pops right off. It's not too bad. The suspension's really not going to go anywhere, so you can kind of let it hang. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure that you don't pull on your brake lines or your ABS wiring. You'll see it'll pretty much stay right there. Now is also a good time to check the boots on your four-wheel drive. You're going to want to make sure they're not cracked or busted. If they are, as long as they're not clicking, you can go ahead and replace that boot and save yourself a small fortune. Now, as you can see, this ball joint is beyond wore out. It moves up and down. It flops around. You can actually hear it. And you can see that the boot is completely torn away and gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and replace that entire upper arm. In my case, 13/16. There's two bolts up underneath the top here. I've sprayed them down beforehand with PB Blaster. And all we're going to do is remove those.